Alright, you see, the last one uploaded, thank God, so I'm going to keep right on rolling with the rest of this and go ahead and close this thread out. On the turntable now, I took up Johnny Barnes and I put on Nacho Pop, since I was talking about it in the last video, thought I'd spend a little of that. Alright, so the letter S. This is the Sorrows. And I think I talked earlier in these videos about how I'm kind of at this point where I have to go for more obscure stuff, really. And this is representational of the kind of things I look for. I mean, Nacho Pop kind of has the same look, but, you know, look at these guys and, you know, check these guys out. I mean, this, you know, personnel of, you know, a group of 4 or 5, you know, minimal instrumentation, you can sort of tell from the way these guys look. This is kind of rock and roll that I like. You know, decade doesn't really matter. And this is, you know, this was a good buy. This is a really good record. The letter S has my 2 favorite artists in it. The 2 artists that I have liked the longest, that have been the most meaningful for me in terms of my life, their lyrics, their musicianship. So I had to include both of these, and I picked 2 somewhat rarities to represent them. My best friend in the world, I've had the same best friend for like 25 years, and he started playing guitar early in our teenage years, and one of the first, as well as Dylan, he really started playing Paul Simon. And he and I got into Paul Simon around the same time, and I've been into Paul Simon ever since. And this is the Paul Simon Songbook, which is a collection of demos and unreleased material that supposedly came with a box set of maybe his first 4 solo albums. I'm not sure. And this, I think, is a British release, and this might have been released individually for sale in Britain, but in the States was only ever put together as part of that box set. I don't fully know what the history is of this album, but here it is, and this was really hard to find as a Paul Simon fanatic as I was at the time, and somebody had given me a gift certificate and wandered into my local shop, and there was nothing. I was looking, there was nothing. And then I turned over to the side, and this was sitting in like a rack, you know, just out. And I just, you know, did that, you know, leap for it, and it was like $3. And so, Paul Simon Songbook. And the second artist I got into in college, a guy I knew there, really turned me on to Bruce Springsteen, and there was no going back after I figured out how good Bruce Springsteen could be, and that he was more than just the Born to Run album that saturated everything in the 80s during my childhood. This is a bootleg, an e-ticket. Here's the back of it, right there. I have, there's a day at a local record shop that somebody had brought in a bunch of booths of Springsteen. And they used to have this thing where if you spent like $10, you got a punch on the card, and then after you got 10 punches, you got like 10% off your next purchase or something like that. Well, I spent $100 on bootlegs just on Bruce Springsteen that day, and so the Lord bringing me out was like, yeah, you just get the 10% today because you filled up the card basically today. So this is e-ticket. Okay, I think we're on to the letter T. Yeah, we're on to the letter T. This is in my collection because of the kindness of people that know me, that know that I like records, that just give them to me sometimes. This is a little difficult to fully see. This says, Folkways Records, Radio Program Number 4, Stud Turkle's Weekly Almanac on Folk Music Blues, on WFMT with Big Bill Brunsey and Pete Seeger. And the back is just right here. There is a guy that I sing barbershop with, that I was talking about records with, and he said, yeah, I've got a bunch of records at home, I'm not doing anything with them, why don't you know, I mean, if you'll appreciate them and do something with them, I'll just give them to you. And I said, yeah, you know, bring them over. I would love to do it. And it took a long time, but he finally did, and it was this beautiful collection of early folk music like this, and just really great music. And this was completely free. The whole box was completely free. And here's the booklet that came with it. Yeah, it's just that one page. And then listing of Folkways records and everything. I'd love to take something like this and turn it into a T-shirt, you know. I'll take this out of the plastic. And there's a label, that old labels for Folkways. And so I'm really lucky that the people that know that I like records feel good enough about me and my excitement about them that I just get records, they just give them to me. I'm really grateful. Okay, this is really an oddity, and I have to admit I've never played this, but this is a record by a guy named Billy Tipton. This is representation of my collection because I will read anything about music. Any book, you know, I'll read it. I'm interested in it, and I found a book about this guy at Goodwill for like, you know, 50 cents or something, and I read it. And the story behind this is that this Billy Tipton person was actually a woman named something else, and had this whole career of like hiding the fact that she was a woman to have this career as a piano player. And this is I'll say he released like 2 albums, and one of them had this like Victorian looking woman on it, and the other one had this cover. And I read that, I was like, okay, so I'll just sort of follow it away, and if I ever come across this record, that'll be sort of a cool little oddity in my collection. And I always remembered it, and I was digging actually down the street from where I lived and came across this, and so I picked it up. And it stays up here just because it's a cool little oddity, another little footnote in music history, and that's the kind of stuff that I like. Okay, so this is funny. This is another representation of how I finally got a record that starts with U that's not U2. Kind of like Suzi Quatro and the Queen section. This is the United States of America on the original Columbia label. And the reason I'm only showing the record is because all I have is the record. I keep it in this sleeve right here. And this is in my collection, and I pulled this out to show why, when I'm digging, I even pay attention to the records that don't have covers, because sometimes you really find something special. If it really is about the music, really and truly, then this is all that I should need to hear. You know, the pictures and stuff like that, and the complete packaging is cool, but the music is really what I'm going after. And you know, if you like garage and you like psych stuff like that, you know what this is. So yeah, I have this record now. I have it. I just don't have a cover. And you know, I have a couple of covers that don't have records that I keep up here. I make sure I, you know, keep them in nice condition, because one day I might find the record and I can put the two together and make the complete set. And so when I'm digging, I always even look through the ones that don't have covers, because you never know. Alright. This is the letter V, and this is Gaetano Veloso, and the album is called Tranza, and the back is similar to the front. And there's the gatefold right there. And this is up here because this is another representation of me just trying. I'm sorry, this is Gaetano. That's not a G, that's a C. Or maybe, yeah, it's a C. Gaetano Veloso. Trying to get into new music, trying different things, picking up something I've never heard of. And I don't think I've played this yet. Or maybe I've played 1 or 2 tracks. I don't remember. Let's see if I made any notes here. Yeah, apparently I liked the first track on the first side. And this is me just trying to pick up different things that I'd never seen before. Tony Joe White, Black and White. I am interested and suspicious of supposed one-hit wonders. This is the guy that did Poke Salad Andy. And this is actually the album that it's on. As you can see from the mark right there. I'm suspicious of one-hit wonders most of the time. I know that they put out an album, and so when I come across someone who's supposedly a one-hit wonder, I pick up the album, because a lot of times the best track on a record isn't necessarily the hit. There's a gem to be found, and that's true with this. This is Tony Joe White. He had a really great voice, and this is a really good record. This whole record I thought was very good. Whomped Out on You. It's a really great track. He covers Wichita Lineman, which is good. He covers Little Green Apples. Everybody did Little Green Apples, but this is good. Soul Francisco, Willie and Laura Mae Jones. I mean, all really good tracks. So I pick up these kind of records by one-hit wonders just to give the whole thing a spin. And a lot of times I've been pleasantly surprised by what I found. Oh, jeez. Okay. Still with the letter W. This is the pain of being a record collector who is into something that everybody else is into. Oh, the pain of being a Tom Waits fan and wanting his stuff on vinyl, because so one of the things is people who are Tom Waits fans that have his vinyl, they don't get rid of it. They hang on to it. And so this is one of, I pulled these out because these are my Tom Waits records, and I really wish I had more. I wish I had every single one of them, but they're so hard to find, and this is the downside of being just a thrift store dollar bin scuffler like I am, that you gotta wait forever and ever and ever to collect things, and it's a thrill when you finally find something, but it takes forever, man. And if I had more money, I would be chasing after these records like crazy. And in fact, both of these were gifts. Somebody else other than me bought these and gave them to me, because I never find his stuff in a thrift situation. Okay. The letter Y. This is Chris Yulden, Nowhere Road. Check out this guy in the back, man. Doesn't he look like a cool cat? Alright, so unfortunately, this record is beat to hell, and this is going to be hard for you to see, but it's really hard to tell. It's warped to hell. Yeah, you can sort of see it there. See how the light is bending on it? Yeah. So I even keep things like this in my record collection, because I tell myself all the time, someday I'm going to figure out how to flatten this out, and then I'm going to have something really special, because I can play some of this. Oh, this computer's getting ready to die. I can play some of this, and it sounds really good, but there's other parts of it that I can't play at all. It's got a scuff on it. That's not a deep scratch, it's just a scuff. So I even buy things like this, so I'm like, well, if I ever get it properly sorted out, I might have something really special. And it's potentially savable. Maybe. So, because I'm a thrifter, and I don't put much into records, I can, oh, okay, good. I got a minute left. I can take chances on something like this. And the letter Z is Warren Zevon. Yeah, Warren Zevon. He's sort of like Tom Waits for me. Very eclectic, strange music, but he's been much more accessible and easy to find. I was listening years ago to a radio station in my town that they used to play the whole album, and really got hooked on this album and then hooked on Warren Zevon. So, yeah, Warren Zevon closes out my response. So, thank you, Big Star, for reviving this, and Bostonian Reggae, I think, also. And I'll talk to you later, BC. Bye.